This is a tough crowd.
Here's the difference.
1415.
I feel something which has I don't go with the principle when
Yeah, there's a when you pick one, it's like very slight. Yeah. It's like then if you want to play the same thing again, so we get to the end. Huh? Same. The tape recording, the recording is only runs through it 3 times. But the 3rd time we're gonna get everyone to try and sing. Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely.
you see the order in
Almost here. Almost here.
Anthony, Tony, Conrad, giant of the avant-garde from the 60s until now. Inventor of a new system of math. So radical it used no numbers and no symbols, was only communicated by grunts, laughing, and facial expression. Yellow Movie is well known as the longest running film in history, made in the early 70s and still being projected. What is less known is that Studio of the Streets was originally known as Studio of the Street, where Conrad declared that the street was the studio and that those that repaved and repaired it were actually its makers. In fact, for a time, mayors across the United States were perplexed when DPW workers asked to shift to the Screen Actors Guild Union. Beyond the less important things said about the flicker, its quaint and mannered story. This is Tony here. I'm busy, Tony. I'm busy. I'm busy. That flicker, its quaint and mannered story, it reawakened a move back to more intimate black and white filmmaking. And he made The Coming Attraction into a film itself. Emphasizing how after a minute or two there's little beyond repetition in any work of art. You know, the pop culture phrase, "Yeah, man, that's really cooking," came into being after a review of his stir-fry movie. And he invented instruments. The pianotar, the saxello, and plumbing tubular bells, among others. But then there was his head. There was always the music in his head. Okay, Tony. I get it. You were none of that.
You know.
You were none of that. But it was all of that. And more. You know, but now for the truth. Here, now. Tony is my friend. He is our friend. Careful of his giving. Once he believed, he decided, he gave without yield. Is that his genius? I don't know. The geometry to apply to his giving would look like an upside-down pyramid with Tony, single block at the base, and then there's all the rest of us. Charlie, Robert, Michael, Lori, Tony, Barbara, Julie, Armin, Julie, Meg, Steve, John, Ted, Beverly, Mike, Alex, Paul, Steina, Paige, Woody, Brian, Paul, Dave, Gina, Deborah, George, Hollis, Jerry, Chris, Brian, Olivier, Anna, Tony, and on, and on, and on, and on. And our mistake would be to remember Tony. Because another part of his genius is that he is not in the past. Tony is here now. And we are all still small parts of his piece that Tony will continue to push through us. And right past us, to the next us, Tony is here. Better, Tony is here now.
Exposed all the time. There's a lot of lonely time out there. There's a lot of lonely time out Some people weren't as vigilant as I was. Buttercup. Buttercup. Once in a while we would go to the movies. I didn't want to be grown up. Buttercup. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. Or let's go that way. the Wolf Man. I didn't want to be grown up. I felt exposed all the time. I felt exposed all the time. Buttercup. This is my diary. This is my diary. And everything you can imagine. And everything you can imagine. Let's go this way. Or let's go that way. Oh no, let's go this way. We really got lost, and I was so happy. Dracula and Batman and like vampires and Dracula, the Wolf Man. What was happening? I didn't want to be grown up. Buttercup. This is my diary. My diary. Exercising a little care makes it fun. I felt exposed all the time. diary. You know, you know, we really got lost, and I was so happy. This is my diary. Buttercup. Buttercup. I didn't want to be grown up. This is my diary. I didn't want to be grown up. Oh no, let's go this way. Buttercup. Once in a while we would go to the movies. You know, like playing the guitar. And everything you can imagine. There was a lot of lonely time out there. There was a lot of lonely time out there.
is a little. Thank you very much. That was sung by Tony's dear friend Charlemagne Palestine, and it was done at a lovely tribute to Tony last spring in New York City. And Charlemagne had a little story that the truth of that song was that he sang it to Tony over the phone 2 days before he passed on. So he was having a conversation with Tony, and I hope you all were too. Thank you.
Heck yeah.
It's like drinking that beer, And one more thing, a photo credit inside here, Joan Bukowski.
Physical